स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज मैं आप सबके साथ क्राई द पीकॉक रिटन बाय अनीता देसाई एक्सप्लेन करूंगी नॉवेल। और मैं पार्ट 2 आपको एक्सप्लेन कर रही हूँ, चैप्टर 1। मैंने जहाँ से फिनिश किया था मैं उसके बाद से कंटिन्यू कर रही हूँ। ओके, मैंने कहाँ फिनिश किया है आप प्लीज़ डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक है, वहाँ से जाके उसको सुन सकते हैं। अगर आपको फिर भी कोई डाउट है तो आप प्लीज़ मुझे कमेंट कीजिए, मैं आपके ज़रूर कमेंट का जवाब दूंगी। और इसके अलावा भी अगर आपको कुछ पढ़ना है तो आप वो भी मुझे बताइए, मैं वो भी कोशिश करूँगी आपको बहुत जल्द एक्सप्लेन करने की, बट आई नीड टाइम ऑल्सो। ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स बिगिन। Were one more flower to unfurl that night, one small bird to cry, एक छोटा बर्ड भी, if one bright star were to be shattered and fall now, I could not have borne it. I was filled to the point of destruction. मैं एकदम इस पॉइंट पे थी कि मैं एकदम अब लग रहा है कि मेरे पास कुछ है नहीं। गॉड आई कैप्स्ड, वो एक लाउड ब्रेथ ले रही है। इनफ नो मोर, वो कहती है let it remain so, let it remain. And then that breath was released, a new one drawn. The agony of it, उसका एक दर्द, उसका एक pain. I insisted we leave the lights off in the dining room, that we eat by the light that meagerly came in through the open doors of other rooms. वो कहती है इसको बंद रखो और जो बाहर कमरे से जो लाइट आ रही है उसको ऑन रखो, imagining that from this dimness we should be able to look out on the stars. ठीक है, हम लोग स्टार्स को देख सकें। They are so bright tonight. वो कहती है कितने, देखो कितना bright है stars. Well, I hope bright enough for me to spot a fly if it falls into my dinner. हाँ, I hope इतना bright हो जो मेरे खाने में जो फ्लाई गिरे वो मैं देख सकूँ। Grumbled Gotham, who was no romantic, बिल्कुल romantic नहीं है, and having quoted, forget the content of the quotation. जो quotation वो कहता है, which I rapturely continue to turn over and over my mind. वो बार बार उसी वो जो कहता है ना, वो जो उर्दू का जो शायरी, उसको सोचती रहती है। As a child clutches and fondless a wonderful toy. एक बच्चा कैसे एक टॉय के ऊपर एक अपना दिल लगा के रहता है, वैसे ही somehow the darkness killed our appetite. जो डार्कनेस इतना हो जाता है ना, Gautama complaining that it was too hot to catch, smoked between courses, and I ray tongue and unsavory, unpleasant from having cried so much, concentrated on a salad of pomelos, एक pomelo fruit की तरह है, and chilies, sadly reflecting that on another day this vision of crisp pink fruit speckled with green, fresh green, would have illuminated an entire evening, जो salad जो बना हुआ है। But tonight we were subdued. ठीक है, हम लोग बहुत शांत थे और हम लोग के अंदर एनर्जी कम है। One could only see a few pale stars glimmering low over the trees. हम लोग सिर्फ एक ट्रीज को देख पा रहे हैं, स्टार्स को देख पा रहे हैं जो ट्रीज के इधर है। Not many from the wide open windows through which no breeze entered. वहाँ से कोई ब्रीज भी नहीं आ रहा था, हवा भी नहीं। And finally, when a clumsy fluttering moth did fall into the ice sweet on Gotham's plate, गौतम्स के प्लेट में आया, I rose, मैं खड़ी हो गई, and switched on the lights resignedly, मैंने लाइट्स को स्विच की, begging him not to shout so, मैंने कहा चिल्लाना मत। That stars were a failure, the stars were failure था क्योंकि स्टार्स से उतना अच्छा लाइट नहीं आ रहा था। That night Gautama worked late, उस रात गौतमा बहुत देर रात तक काम किए। I went to bed alone, carrying my glass of water, मैं अपना ग्लास ऑफ वाटर लेकर गई, which I sat down on the little tables between our beds. हमारे बेड्स के होता ना साइड में, तो मैंने वहाँ टेबल अपना ग्लास रखा, which were two rectangles of immaculate white on the inky lawn at the back of the house. ठीक है, perfectly clean and tidy, immaculate, perfectly clean and tidy. A row of papaya trees behind them, a tangle of vine, beans, jasmine and all mixed hid the servants' quarters from the view. और अब अगर आप बाहर देखो तो बनाना और उसके जो मतलब वो है पपाया ट्रीज के वो सर्वेंट्स क्वार्टर्स का व्यू को ढक देते हैं। बट इट डिड नॉट शट आउट द साउंड ऑफ देयर वॉइसेस, और उनकी आवाज़ें आ रही हैं, उनकी आवाज़ें बंद नहीं हैं। और ऑफ द स्मॉल ड्रम समवन वाज थम्पिंग, और द चांट ऑफ राधे कृष्णा किसी कहीं से आवाज़ आ रही है। अ ललिंग सूदिंग चांट, ये जो आवाज़ है ये काफ़ी सूदिंग है, काफ़ी प्लीजिंग है। I sat down on my bed, cool and refreshed after a bath. मैं नहा कर आई हूँ तो I'm cool and refreshed in my white night clothes and began to feel more at peace. मैं बहुत ही peaceful अभी मुझे feel हो रहा है. I knew a special technique of getting into bed on summer nights. मुझे एक special technique आती है. And took a deep skin diverse breath before I lay down. मैंने एक अच्छा deep breath लिया. Very slowly stretched out one leg. एक मैंने पैर फैलाया. Let my breath out in a long sigh. लंबा सांस लिया मैंने and collapsed onto the cool smooth sheets with delicious abandon. और काफी मतलब बहुत ही coolly मैं अपना sheets को मैंने निकाला, बाहर किया, मैं अंदर गई. Very slowly I uncurled my fingers and toes so that they too were completely relaxed. और बहुत ही अंदर मैंने अच्छे से किया. Like a cat. Gautama she had said, smiling during the earlier days of our marriage, when he was still capable of such a mative. मतलब जब वो strongly moved होते थे by sexual love, whimsicality. A small lazy cat वो मुझे कहते थे. Quietly I breathed the night in, letting the rhythm of the chant wash over me in swift regular waves. और जो chant है राधे कृष्ण वो मेरी कानों में अभी भी आ रहा है. Night, night, deep, dark night. This I knew was what one lived for. यही dark night. कोई इसी के लिए जीता है. For the nights were always beautiful. Nights जो वो हमेशा खूबसूरत होता है. The gentle herbal balm rubbed into the hot temples and fevered bruises inflicted by the long frustrating day. The gentle herbal balm rubbed into the hot temples में जो होता है and fevered bruises जो पैर में जो हो जाते हैं inflicted by the long frustrating day. जो दिन इतना लंबा होता है, frustrating होता है, रात बहुत खूबसूरत होता है. Night and stars newly discovered, splendors of stars, बहुत stars उसको दिख रहे हैं. There they were a diamond frieze and lieu above me. ऐसा लग रहा है कि diamonds मेरे and lieu above me. The sky was intensely black, intensely soft, so that one eyes plunged and pierced, but awed, soon found it and clung to the stars instead. The large, calm stars with names to them that I did not know, मुझे नहीं पता, and rings of milky luminescence around them that glowed, जो एक whitish पन आ रहा है, and the smaller, nameless ones that winked on and off, so fast that the dazzled eye could never know the instant when they were off. The Milky Way swooped कहते to fly down suddenly across from northeast to southeast. आकाश गंगा, the Ganges of the sky. हमारा जो Milky Way उसको आकाश गंगा कहते हैं. I lay there thinking of the star that composed that great pale girdle that bound horizon to horizon, of the immense distance between earth and the stars. क्योंकि बहुत distance है ना. Of the millions of years, ये सब के बारे में वो सोच रही है. The eons कहते हैं extremely long period of time that it took for the light to travel down the great vacuum into my waiting eyes. ये सब सोच रही है वो. A shooting star sped across the sky, then disintegrated into sparks. और आता है shooting stars, और वो spark में बदल जाता है. That were immediately extinguished, वो खत्म हो जाता है. I twisted uneasily. The peace I had prepared for ritual fashion had not descended after all, and my line of thought made me restless. मुझे ये सब thought मुझे restless बना दिया. Calm नहीं, शांति नहीं. Like a magic charm, I repeated Gautam's couplet to myself. वो जो कहता है शायरी ना, वो अपने आप को उसी को दोहराती है. The lovely words, trying to think of their richness and tenderness. मैं सोचती हूँ कि वो कितना rich है वो word उसके लिए. Alone, but it did not help. और वो भी उसका कुछ काम नहीं आता. I twisted around farther still, staring at the big papaya leaves. देखती है बड़ा जो papaya leaves को behind my head that were like Chinese paper cuts silhouetted against the lush nighty sky. I tried to concentrate on the voices. मैं उस voices की तरफ सोचती हूँ that droned राधा कृष्ण उसको वहाँ से जो आवाज़ें आती है राधा कृष्ण की वो सोचती हूँ वो वहाँ ध्यान दे. In a bemused rhythm. And found it only transported me back to the awareness of the loneliness of the time. पर मैं यही चीज़ में चली जाती हूँ वापस से कि मैं कितनी अकेली हूँ सोचती है. The impossible vastness of the space, और कितना impossible vastness है space का. Where did I stand in it? In these decades that was spelt out in flashing hieroglyphs above my head. Hieroglyphs कहते हैं जो carvings को, okay? उसके असर के ऊपर चलता है. For there Never was a doubt in my mind. मेरे mind में कोई doubt नहीं रहता. Now that I remembered as to the definite truth that I did indeed have a place in it. Not only I but my small dog, whose sad journey I followed in my mind. उसका दिमाग में चलता रहता है. उसके साथ उसका यादें. Even as my eye traced pattern after majestic pattern amidst the proud constellations. Gotham, I should have liked to call out to him. I turned to the light in his study. Okay, a small bright oblong in the silent house. एक oblong की जैसा shape का ऐसा होता है oblong का shape, ठीक है? ऐसा. Okay, it would be long before he shut his books and came to me. Did I go in? Beg, मैं beg करूँ for comfort. Confess to my loneliness and my terror of loneliness. मेरा अकेलेपन useless कहती है, hopeless है. From my twisted positions, I sank back into relaxations. Shut my eyes, अपनी आंखें बंद करती, immediately opened them again. फिर वो अचानक से खोलती है. Bright pin pricks probed them open, and it was not only the star but that strange unease. वो सिर्फ तारों के बारे में एक unease है उसके दिमाग में. एक ease कहते हैं कि शांति को, और unease कहते हैं कि वो शांत नहीं है. That had troubled me all day. A persistent sense of some disaster I had known and forgotten, or perhaps never known, only at one time feared and now rediscovered. But what was it? क्या है वो? A grain of sand itching upon the tender infant skin of my new sorrow. Yet no mere grain. Far more important है वो बहुत. Not merely a foreboding, but a distant apprehension of a presence. Like an undercurrent beneath the throbbing of drums, a foreign odor amidst the scent of lemon blossoms. एक foreign odor आता है, lemon जो होता है ना, lemon का जो खुशबू आता है, उसके अलग एक खुशबू आता है. A struggle of despair that continued beyond the sleep of death. I searched the stars, वो stars को ढूंढती है. Unhappily, fearsomely even. I could not shut my eyes upon them. अपनी आंखें बंद भी नहीं कर पाती. Tonight, they had a fascination that was no longer one of pure enchantment. It was as though I were faced with an important message in a language I could not read. अब वो सोचती है, thinking now of Toto than of a growing desire to call Gotham, of एक desire जगता कि वो गौतम को बुलाए, and ultimately of whatever I knew of the constellations. Constellation stars को, group of stars को कहते हैं. I sifted through the hieroglyphs. और फिर वो hieroglyphs को देखती है, carvings है. It was a language I had once known. ऐसा कुछ language है उसको एक टाइम में पता था. I indeed only to remember, but I must do soon. How, why, and after that what? क्या? In the end, it was not the star that told me. At the end, वो stars नहीं है, but the moon when it rose out of the churn of my frenzy, vast and goat white, written over with dim, tortuous signs, complicated signs में. In ash grey, casting a scaring shaft of star white across my body, which thereupon began to shake. For it was not the gentle moon of love ballads. ये वो moon नहीं है जहाँ पे love ballads लिखा गया. And a fairy reveals that so swiftly mounted the roof of our house, but a demoniac creature, एक ऐसा creature जो devil है. Okay, the fierce dancer that all day been trying to leap the threshold of my mind and home, accompanied by the deafening roar of silent drums. It was the mad demon of Kathakali ballads, marks with heavy skirts swirling, feet stamping की आवाज आती है, eyes shooting beams of fire. It was a phantom gone berserk. Berserk कहते हैं very angry, and from a body of absolute white, उसका terrible colors होता है, rose out of realms of silence into one of thunderous drummings. बहुत drums की आवाज आती है. God, God, I cried and sat up in terror. वो डर के बैठ जाती है. There was no clash and clamor after that. I was aware of a great dead silence in which my eyes opened to a vision that appeared through the curtains of the years. जो बहुत सालों का जो याद है ना उसके दिमाग में आता तो वो डर जाती है. One by one falling back till I saw again that shadow. फिर उसको एक shadow दिखता है. याद आता है, black and evil shadow. Its name was not that of a demon in Kathakali dance drama, nor was it one of the limpid, clear affiliations, the action of giving someone of the moon. It was, I remember it now, fate. He had been large or small. वो याद करती है large या small, I cannot remember, but His eyes, I do, उसका आँख जो आदमी का उसको याद रहता है. They were pale, opaque and gave him an appearance of morbidity. ऐसा था कि उसको कोई बीमारी है. As though he had lived like a sluggish white worm indoors always in his dark room at the temple gates में वो रहता है. Where the central lingam कहते हैं symbol of divine generative energy was painted a bright vicious red as though plunged in sacrificial blood. A light burned in a single lamp from which oil spilled into a large spreading pool. Just as his shadow spread and spread, so उसका shadow दिखता है, a stain edging towards me who stood clutching my ayah's hand in paralyzed terror and even fiercer fascinations. एक अजीब उसको डर लगता है. My toes curling away from the oil from his shadow, not only here but in your horoscope also. सिर्फ यहाँ नहीं but तुम्हारे horoscope में, he said, tapping the long chart the ayah he had made for me. And there on your forehead too, वो तुम्हारे माथा में भी लिखा हुआ कहता है. He smiled and laying on the paper he raised his hand और दिखाता है plump oiled hand with dyed nails, bringing it close to my face so that I felt as though a bat were caught in the same room with me and shrank involuntarily. But he lowered it without touching me, वो रखता है, and turned to fingers the horoscope instead, its minute fingers in his hand. Just as it is prophesied here, जैसा इसमें लिखा गया वो कहता है, I see it there, मैं देख सकता हूँ. He said, he smiled. Unmistakably, he offered me lemonade, नींबू पानी उसको देता है. He offered the ayah tea, उसको टी देता है. We refused, लोग refuse कर देते. I froze, the ayah began to complain. मैं ठंडी जाती हूँ और जो आया है वो कंप्लेन करने लगती है. Suddenly, as though she had developed uncomfortable itch somewhere, he smiled at us. वो हंसता है. Continuously, he came near me again. वो बार बार आता है. His shadow lapped me playfully, flirtatiously. There between the eyes, this exact spacing, marvelous. Who would have thought? कौन किसने सोचा होगा, वो कहता है. He mused and the madly blank eyes were glazed. He begged me, seared, and be patient. He twitched the fold of his grimy robe between thighs that flashed through holes and openings. Here the obscenely मतलब एक ऐसा वे में वो करता है, मतलब एक सेक्सुअल वे में उसके पास आने की वो कोशिश करता है. No doubt about it, and so it is my duty to warn you. वो कहता है मेरी ड्यूटी है तुमको warn करना. Like sweet eyes oil, his smile stripped on me. My child, I would not speak of it if I saw it on your face alone. But look at the horoscope. वो कहता है कि अगर तुम्हारे सिर्फ फेस में दिखता तो मैं नहीं कहता, पर तुम्हारे हॉरोस्कोप में लिखा हुआ है. Stars do not lie. Stars झूठ नहीं बोलते हैं. And so it is best to warn you, prepare you. मैं कि तुम्हारी ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा कि मैं तुमको warn कर दूँ. He played on this manner, seemed even pleased when the ayah grew impatient and plaintive. वो बहुत गुस्सा हो जाती आया. Interrupted with her winnings, ठीक है, वो इन्हें कंप्लेन करना. Her protest for this gave him time to argue with her. कुछ टाइम मिल जाता उसको आर्ग्यू करने का. Coyly, in hesitation and prolonged the intense drama. All the while he smiled and his eyes now turned colorless, now flashed with light. गुस्से में उसका आग हो जाता. Sometimes he grew emphatic and creased his brow and raised his arms. His voice वो कहता है death. He finally admitted in one such moment, to one of you, तुम दोनों में से कोई एक मरेगा. When you are married, and you shall be married young. The light suddenly sank and his eyeless face assumed the texture of a mask above me. Death, an early one, by unnatural causes. कुछ unnatural होगा. He said softly, sibilantly. Sibilantly मतलब क्या कहते हैं? कुछ hissing sound से. And gently lowered his arms till they dropped to his side. Then became furiously mobile once more. Casting his robes once this way, once that, he cut short the ayah's horrified wail. उसको कहता है चुप रहिए. Be quiet, woman. Who speaks to you? You old illiterate. तुमसे कौन बात कर रहा है? तुम जाहिल औरत. You believe me anyhow. तुम मुझ पर बिलीव रखो. Whether I will lie or speak the truth. But the child must be persuaded. She must listen to me, my warning. और मैं इस बच्ची को सुना रहा हूँ. इसको ये सब चीज़ जानना ज़रूरी है. It is my duty to prepare her. ये मेरा फर्ज उसको प्रिपेयर करना. It's my duty. He approached me again with dancing steps when the weak flame of the single lamp suddenly guttered and died. जो flame है वो बुझ जाता है. We all sprang up, and the darkness was filled with crowding, pushing, grasping bodies, moist with perspirations, reeking with evil. The emanation to show something and apprehension to it. Oil! Look at the oil! He cried. I shall fetch some oil, and the ayah screamed. मैं कुछ डाल दूंगा oil. The ayah screamed, no fool! There is oil enough. Too much of it. It has drowned the wick. Wick जो है ना, जो कैंडल का जो wick, जो धागा जो होता है, वो खत्म हो गया. And then I found the door, flung it open, thinking to meet a great rush of daylight and sanity. मैं तुझे दिखता है कि जो door है वो open है. But the door opened into a courtyard shaded by a vast tree. वो एक आंगन की तरफ खुलता है जहाँ पे बहुत बड़े बड़े घास हैं. And the light was subdued grey, but light it was, and by its help the woman lit the lamp again. और उसी के लाइट से वो लाइट ला रही थी वो औरत. Having squeezed the wick dry between her fingers, I saw the floor littered with उसमें ants चलते हैं floor में, and corpses of ants that had come to drink the sweet oil and drowned in it. और वो लोग वो oil में dip हो जाती है. I had only time to note this, nothing more, when he shut the door again quickly with the albino's dread of light, and slyly behind my back. करने के लिए मेरे पीछे आता है. He chuckled gnomishly. Now we can go back to our very important conversation. वो बोलता है अब हम लोग अपनी जो बहुत important हम लोग बात करते हैं हम लोग उस पर वापस जा सकते हैं. Of course you are still so young, so very young. Flicking the fold of his robe over the lines, flicking it. There is still so much time. Or have arrangements already been made for a marriage? मेरे arrangements हो सकता है. No, I shouted. I will never marry. And at the same time, the ayah screamed. और आया में चिल्लाती है. Give me that horoscope you have made. दो मुझे दो. Lie. सब झूठ है वो. Give it to me so we can leave now. And he raised his hands, rolled his eyes, crying, calm yourselves. वो कहता है शांति रखो. Calm yourselves. But we were in a frenzy now. हम लोग बहुत गुस्से में. I rushed to the door. The ayah seized the scroll. He grew perturbed. Trouble उसका माइंड होता है. Peremptory मतलब वो expect करता है कि हम लोग उसको obey करें. Sit down, he said, sternly in a voice of steel. Listen to me. Woman, he snapped like a whip. For there is only a chance, a faint possibility that our life should take this path. कुछ ही उम्मीद है वो कहता है. The sign is there. The stars prophesy it. ये stars जो है ना ये लोग उसका prophecy दे रहे हैं कि death होगा. But we are in the hands of God, and here his voice dropped, softened, began to quiver with emotion. वो कहता है फिर हम तो ऊपर वाले के हाथ में. फिर उसका voice यहाँ पे ठंडा हो जाता है. He lived behind the temple, heard the bells, and saw the worshippers supplicate. God guides us all. वो कहता है ऊपर वाला हमारी रक्षा करेगा, हमें गाइड करेगा. He may guide you on to another path if you pray if it to be so. Offer sacrifices in order that it may be so. He had a rosary. उसके हाथ में वो माला होती है उसे गिनते नहीं हम लोग तस्वीर जिसको कहते हैं. God guides you कहता है. Child, he murmured close to my ear and chanted a prayer. वो कुछ prayer बोलता है. Opening his eyes wide and rolling them so that the iris जो है ना आँखों में जो white white होता है उसको बोलते हैं. Formed white circles that gleam around the pale pupils. 4 years after your marriage वो कहता है. So the stars prophecy in the space between your eyes. The mark there support this prophecy. 4 साल बाद और इस prophecy को support करो. I have warned you, perform my duty, be very child, be very, and fear God. और खुदा से डरो. Worship him, उनको worship करो, sacrifices करो, pray करो. Do we not know all of us hear the story of प्रहलाद? प्रहलाद का स्टोरी नहीं पता. How Krishna saved him again and again. कैसे कृष्णा ने उसको बचाया मौत से. Countless time through love and mercy. Have we not all heard of how Prahlad was flung from the mountain top? कैसे वो गिरता है माउंटेन के पहाड़ के ऊपर से और कृष्णा जो है caught him in his arms, उनको अपने arms में ले लेते हैं. Of how he was flung into a fire, कैसे वो fire में गिरता है. The entire encounter ended in a tales of mythology, in some philosophy, much contorted even to my infantile ears. मेरे childish years में जितना मैं सुन भी नहीं मतलब जितना मुझे समझ भी नहीं आ रहा वो सब मुझे कहता है. In prayers and song, religious songs, till the sticky net of his shadow at last slipped away and released me, and I was able to open the door. और मैं आराम से जा सकती थी दरवाज़ा खोलने के लिए and make my old ayah take me home away from this fearsome magician. उसको दूर होना था इस magician से. ठीक है अपने आया को लेकर चली जाती है. and for that it is what I called him, a magician उसको लगता है वो. And he ushered us out, flicking the garment that slipped about his hips, flicking it as a lizard flicks its tongue as a petrified victim frightened it, and then hastily drew back into the shadow before a stray ray of light could strike him with its purifying glare of whiteness. The moon did her utmost. Moon ने सारा काम कर दिया था. With sweet pale coolness she shone and turning all that was grey to either black or white. और moon जितना चमक सकता चमक रहा है, या तो कुछ चीज़ बहुत white दिख रहा है या तो कुछ चीज़ बहुत black. So that the suspicious half-tone disturbing shades all vanished, and there was no gloom left. Nor was it white heat at all. I found but cooling menthol, a lucid balm that bathed my tingling skin. Tingling मतलब कुछ prickle होता है पूरा skin. But it was a sharp penetrating balm. For not only did it play upon me and wash me, but it pierced my body and sunk through my veins. मेरे veins के अंदर तक जाते हैं. So that my blood ran to its calling. तो यहाँ आपको समझ में आ जा रहा है कि वो उस prophecy से डरती है, जो अल्टीमेटली वो इंसान करता है. कुछ किसी डेथ के बारे में यहाँ बात हो रहा है. अब आपको आगे पता चलेगा कि किसके डेथ के बारे में बात हो रहा है. पर यही प्रोफेसी जो बचपन में उसको जो मंदिर का जो है वो इंसान कहता है, उस चीज़ से वो डरी हुई रहती है. Rose to my brain and I was in fever. उसको बुखार आता है. It was so clear now, so magically clear, and the disturbing memory, half remembered, had turned to a vision of albino eyes, of dyed fingernails pointing at my forehead. उसको याद आता है, उसका forehead पर वो point करता है at the stars, and it really was as unmistakable as that of the white moon. And 4 years it was now. 4 साल हो चुके उसकी शादी को. We had been married 4 years. It was as though the moonlight had withered the shadows in my mind as well. तो उसको moon को देखते देखते, stars को देखते, उसको वो सब चीज़ 4 साल हो चुका है ना, तो अचानक उसके दिमाग में सब चीज़ वापस आ जाता है. Leaving it all dead white or dead black. When the drums fell silent and the moon began to sing over the trees, I knew the time had come. It was now to be either Gautam or I. या तो गौतम या तो मैं. When at last he came out to sleep, I could not speak to him. जब at last वो आता भी सोने के लिए, मैं कुछ बोल नहीं पाती हूँ. Lay still pretending to be asleep. मैं ऐसा pretend करती हूँ, वो pretend करती है कि वो सो रही है, और वो अंदर से बहुत घबराई हुई होती है. तो अब आपको आगे पता चलेगा. दिस इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग ऑल्सो. आगे पता चलेगा कि क्या है स्टोरी में, और जिसको बहुत ही अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया गया अनिता देसाई ने. एक एक चीज़ को, उसका की घबराहट को, एक एक इमोशंस को बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया गया है. तो ये कहीं ना कहीं रियलिटी से भी बहुत कनेक्टेड है कि जब हम लोग बहुत लोनलीनेस होते हैं, जब हम लोग बहुत लोनली होते हैं, तो हमारे दिमाग में बहुत सारी चीज़ें चलती हैं, और कहीं ना कहीं वो प्रोफेसीज को बहुत डिस्टर्ब करती है. हमारे साथ ही बचपन में बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट होते हैं. वो कुछ इंसिडेंट जो होते हैं ना, वो कहीं कहीं दिमाग में वो चीज़ बैठ जाता है. कुछ इंसिडेंट का उसको भुलाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है जब हम लोग अकेले होते हैं. जब कोई पार्टनर साथ में होता है या कोई ऐसा इंसान होता है जिसके साथ हम लोग टाइम स्पेंड कर सकते हैं, तो हम लोग इन चीज़ों को भूल जाते हैं. अब आगे आपको पता चलेगा कि वो एक्चुअल में वो प्रोफेसी था क्या और किसके ऊपर था. ओके, सो इट इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू वेट एंड टू रीड. ओके, सो मैं बहुत जल्द कोशिश करूँगी चैप्टर 2 स्टार्ट करने की. चैप्टर 1 पूरा ख़त्म हो चुका है, पार्ट 2 का. मैं बहुत जल्द कोशिश करूँगी चैप्टर 2 भी आपको एक्सप्लेन करूँ. और इसके साथ साथ अगर आपको कुछ और भी पढ़ना है तो आप प्लीज़ मुझे कमेंट कीजिए, मैं ज़रूर आपके कमेंट का जवाब दूँगी. सो थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग. थैंक यू.